What's up, guys? It's Missy. I'm back with another SimCity Build It video. I'm gonna get that, like, I don't know, copyrighted or something. Say that shit so much. Somebody asked me one time, they're like, do you record that, like, first and then have that just be the entrance to all your videos? I'm like, no, I actually say it that way every time. They're like, really? Like, I really do. Okay. Alright, so, I don't know what the hell I'm here for today, but I'm here every day, so might as well talk, right? Okay, so first thing, let's see what EA is going to give me as far as garbage goes, because that's what they like to do. Watch this. Garbage. Oh, wait, sorry. I drove away from my house, so gotta be like, sorry, no internet. Come on, EA. Spit out your garbage so I can go about my life. Ready for this? Told ya. Garbage! Yay! So you used to be able to get like storage and dozer when you didn't have any storage to expand or any dozer to expand. And now it appears as though either I'm a really unlucky person or they changed it. Because ever since I maxed out my storage and my land, all I've gotten is airport. I don't even get VU anymore. Like, I think I might have got VU last week. That I take back. But it was like the first time in like 3 months or some shit. So they may have changed it, I don't know, but I used to get storage and dozer all the time even though I was maxed, and it was nice because I could help people in my club. Now it's like I just get these useless airport items, and when I'm not playing COM competitively, I don't upgrade those homes because I think they're useless. Once you meet the requirements for the contest, or not the contest, the landmark category, when you turn level 30, you really don't want to mess with those unless you actually like those homes. And even then, you're going to want to do that after you've already converted all of your homes to epic projects. So this morning I was talking to one of my group members about designing his map. And he was talking about, you know, trees being expensive. And he's like, man, I'm going to go broke in no time. And I'm like, oh shit, you know, no kidding you are. And so I opened up his screenshot just to see how much cash he has to work with. Motherfucker's sitting on 16,000 cash after buying all 4 Maxuses. He's got 5,000 platinum keys. He's got 3,500 gold keys. And I'm over here going, shut the hell up, dude. I'm over here with my 200 cash, okay? Like, dude, I'm like I know I wrote the Missy's building guide, but let me tell you guys, sometimes, man, I'm jealous of you motherfuckers. Like, I made the game nice for you all. You all better really like me, okay? Because, man, I wish I would have had that. Like, if I'd have known what I have given you guys, the knowledge that I have in here for you guys, for myself, dude, I would have a dope-ass city right now. I would be sitting on like 80,000 platinum keys. I'd have every map just fucking flourished. Like, dude, I'm over here fucking scrimping and saving barely. I just got my 4th Maxus just now. So, you know, that's got to tell you guys that are stubborn on not wanting to restart. With my knowledge in the game, and I just got my 4th Maxus a couple months back. And I had to pay real money. Yeah, I had to. There's no way that I would have won the contest of mayors that many times in a row and had it be beneficial, because you have to think, the 4th one is 8,000 cash, right? So if you win 2,000 each time, that's saying if you manage to win at level 99, you're going to do 2, 4, 6, 8. That's 4 weeks. Do you really think that you're going to win the mega 4 weeks in a row without spending $1 of Sims cash? No, not possible, not going to happen. No way in hell are you going to do that, right? So even if you spent half of the Sims cash, you're looking at 2 months. That's if you win every single time. Again, not going to happen. So, yeah, we're talking about weeks of work being thrown away for a hacker to come by and fuck it up for you. So for those of you who are like mid-level or whatever, you guys really should consider restarting. Okay, so the last, I don't know, about day and a half, I have told you guys that I was going to start focusing the channel a lot more on design, doing more live streams and things like that. So one of the things that I've been doing is trying to get my capital map a little bit more fixed up. So I went through yesterday, and as you can see, now I'm broke on platinum keys, which I didn't really have that many to begin with, but that was a lot for me. Anyway, I went through and I replaced a lot of these cobblestone bridges with the red ones because I was sick of looking at the cobblestone ones. The red ones look a lot better, but I would prefer something else, something that doesn't necessarily exist yet. So I'm hoping that EA gets with the damn program and starts giving us some better bridges, because these red ones certainly look a lot better than the cobblestone ones. They're just expensive. You know, they go up 1 platinum key every time you buy it. I was at like 11 of, I think it was 11 when I purchased one. And then it was like 12, 13, 14, you know what I mean? And so just buying a couple of them, it'll run you broke real quick. So I went through and I purchased a ton of, trees when I was doing some design challenges and stuff like that. We're going to go ahead and do this voting super quick so I can get this done. Now, I did put together some screenshots for you guys yesterday and put them out on a video so that you guys could see them, but they were really small. I am compiling up lists, so for those of you who are, or not lists, you see how much I do the contest of mayors? Oh my god, dude, somebody shoot me. Okay. I'm compiling up screenshots of decent design ideas, so even if it's not your design, go ahead and send it to me. Whether it be on Facebook or whatever platform you use to message with, you can like hit me up on that. I don't really have anything else, but I have at one point, so if there's enough people using it, I will install it and use it if I have to. Now, this here, this annoys me, okay? Both of these maps are shit. And the one on the left is better, but they're following this new guideline of voting where you put water, trees, buildings, and walls, and you get higher stars. So have you noticed that all of the winners so far have had red walls around them? I was wondering about that, and I'm like, why is that? And then you see all these badass, you go on Reddit, and you go follow one of the SimCity Build It community things, and you'll start to see all these really cool designs that people have submitted to the design challenge, and I'm thinking, I never saw any of those. And the people on there are complaining, saying, you know, how is this nothing? How is this like a 2.5 star or whatever? And then they pull up the winner stuff, and they're like, what the hell, you know, like what's going on? And there was a thing up there, and I don't know if it's true or not, but they were talking about the voting being based around like certain things that you put out. Well, then that would indicate that you're not just being voted upon by members of your peers, that you're being voted upon by the game itself, right? So what determines the voting scale? Whatever voting shit that they have going on is complete trash. Like, it really is. It doesn't make any sense the way that it is. The way that you win is trash. Like, what you win, I don't even know what you win when you win. And the fact that there's only one winner out of that many people, I mean, if anything, they should offer a different level of prize. Like, you know, grand prize, medium prize, small prize, kind of like what they do with the Mega League, you know, something like that. If they're going to limit it, they should do it per X amount of players, and they should allow you to vote on whoever the hell you want to vote on within your league, right? And they should allow everybody's chance to be equal. So I'll say this. This is crap. The fact of the matter is people who would want, you know, a lot of these older contest mayors buildings, they're either camping or they don't have the resources that us high-level players have to make cool designs. And then you go through all this trouble making these badass designs, and you see something like really stupid win. Like, both of these are garbage. I don't want to vote on either one of these, but I am. Okay, cool. So, like this, what... Oh my god. So, like, obviously I'm going to vote for that one. It has a little bit more detail, but it's still trash. Oh, gee, thank you. God. Oh, and let me get on another rant while I'm here with EA. If anybody at EA with your hard top hat wearing stupid selves are listening to this, would you kindly turn the goddamn lights on when I design my map? Thank you. Because I'm getting really sick and tired of, hey, I'm here to move shit around, and then you're like, lights out. Who the hell does that? Like, honestly. You just pitch dark. Like, I could turn my brightness up so much it literally lights up my whole bedroom. Like a strobe light. Okay? And then it's dark in SimCity World, and they're like, nope. And then you sit there and you wait, and you wait, and you wait, and then you finally get it to go light out again. They're like, piss rain. It's like, oh, gee, thank you. Like, I don't know who's controlling your climate change over there, the day-night crap, but just because I move a bridge doesn't mean I want it to be nighttime. Thank you very fucking much. That shit is really starting to get to me. It really is, because it's every time you move something. You start designing and moving stuff around, and then the lights go out. And it's not even for like a minute, dude. It's like, sometimes for like 10 straight minutes, I swear. It's like, oh my god. And you all know what I'm talking about if you've tried to design. You're probably over there going, yep, that's pretty fucking stupid. I don't understand when they decided to sit down and make this game. What asshole sat there and went, let's make the lights go out when they move something? Like, what the hell is wrong with you people? Seriously. And better yet, who decided the rest of this shitbang system? Like, this... Dude. I'm gonna end up on a rant, dude. I really am. Who decided to make this really dope-ass game and give us such a shit-ass save system and communication system? I don't know. EA, apparently, somebody who is sponsored by them can't even manage to buy more than a 3-pointer for an Epic. Like, how does that rate? These are the people that are the game changers of EA. And they don't even know how to play the damn game themselves. Like, how does that rate? Okay, so, in the dark, I managed to design this yesterday. Isn't it great now that I can see it? Alright, so I went through, I took out the Tokyo Tower. It was ugly, I knew that. I hated the green trees, but I didn't really know what I wanted to put there, and I didn't care, because I wasn't really working on that map. So yes, I was well aware of how ugly it was. I just didn't know what I was going to do yet. So I put the koala park in there, and then I surrounded it with different types of trees, instead of just like one, color or whatever. So then I decided that I was going to continue on and try to get this map a little bit more complete. So I went through and I added a lot of stuff, just trees, boats, buildings, all kinds of stuff to make this particular map look better. I swapped around some shops, and I moved the these floating lantern parks around a little bit. I went up here and I changed out some of these things, the dragon stuff. I added in this little area here. This I will fix because, why would you want like pawns back there? That's retarded. Not really sure how that ended up back there. Must have been when the lights were out and I couldn't fucking see anything. And I was like, that looks good, I think. Oh wait, I'm not over there. I'm over here. Okay. Or maybe it was when I was scrolling through your stupid ass menu. Because your menu's stupid too. Okay. I mean, who does that? They're like, hey, you want to post something for sale? Most games, people game developers that know that nobody wants to sit there and scroll for 75 years, they're like, hey, here's a little thing called quick tabs. You know what I'm saying? Like, war items. Click, Oh, look, there's my war items. Oh, factory items. Click, there's those. Nope. SimCity's like, hey, we're going to make you scroll. And then if you scroll too fast, we're going to shut the whole damn menu on you just completely. And you're going to have to start back up at the top, and then you're going to start scrolling slower, right? Because it's annoying. That's what SimCity does. You know what's funny? A couple years back, you didn't even have it arranged the way that we do now. Like, now you have war items, like, at the bottom, right? Which, of course, they're at the bottom, because you can only post one for sale at a time, right? But you have them at the bottom, all in one cluster, okay? Before that particular update, you actually had the way that the inventory worked was greatest to least. So if you had 97 flour, then the 97 flour would be next to the 87 batteries. You know, nothing had any kind of organization. It was literally just most to least. And it was the most stupid thing because you had no way of knowing where anything was. You know, like, do I have textiles? I don't know. I'll have to scroll to the bottom and see if I have 2 of them. Like, it was really dumb. So they managed to get half of it right. But, man, I swear, like, some of the shit that they do over there, it makes me wonder if they do it on purpose, you know? Because how can one person be that stupid? Like, and then to think that this is a whole group of these yellow hat wearing motherfuckers and they can't get it right, like, what is wrong with them? Seriously. Because I'm not understanding. You're developing a game for billions of people. And you know that billions of people are annoyed by one specific feature of the game. So it would stand to reason that you would want to fix said feature to please said customer, right? And you yourself, because they claim that they have all of these build-it construction workers, you know, sitting in their little wherever the hell they have their headquarters, playing the game themselves just to make sure that everything is running smoothly for you lovely customers, right? And it makes you wonder, well, are they not annoyed by this? Because I can tell you it's really annoying the way you have to drop the price in this game. And it's been really annoying since I started playing it. And nobody's bothered to fix that. Why? I can tell you that the save system sucks. Nobody's bothered to fix that either. But they went and added a design challenge feature, which they managed to fuck that up. Like, royally fuck that up. I was actually excited about that. I was like, wow, they're actually trying to make the game about designing again. Amazing. And then they're like, no, we're not. We're making it about leveling and fucking you over because Missy's building guide is not helping us make money. So we gotta fuck up the game even more so. Yes, I woke up and hated EA today, in case you're wondering. This was not supposed to be a rant video, it just kind of happened. Okay, so, upon buying my $500 building here, this lovely thing that you see, this rerun of a building that is now still 450 cash, better get it soon, because it's going to be gone. Never fear, though, it'll be back next year. But, if you like those pink trees, don't get used to them, because you're never going to see those again. Fucking bastards. Like, dude, going through that, for those of you who were wondering, there is a video that I did. It's called New and Old Buildings, is what the title is. And it's on the SimCity fan playlist. Should be on every playlist. But I go through and I show you guys a lot of the older buildings and stuff. And there's some really badass stuff that came out back then. You know, hot air balloons with cool designs on them. And they give us an Easter egg painting thing that's so small you need a magnifying glass to see it. I mean, really? Come on, dude. But then they give us a sheep park that covers half our map. They can't get it right. You know what I mean? Like, they gave us an alligator swamp, but you can't see the freaking alligators. They're so damn tiny. Yes, that's the police. They're not coming for me today, I don't think. If they are, I'm going to need a lawyer. Oh, no, it's fire department. Okay, cool. That I know isn't for me. I didn't start no fires. Okay, so, yeah, this is what I did. this is what I got. I don't even want to know the price tag on a design piece such as this, but it wasn't cheap. I'm broke as per usual, and yeah, that's what I got going on that map. Now I do have a really badass idea for the cactus map, and the reason it's going to be on the cactus map is because it's the only map that is probably going to be big enough to fit the shape that I want to do in the size that I want to do it. So yeah, it's going to be on that map. And then I have another really badass idea for the Green Valley map. I want to do kind of like a swamp with smaller bodies of water, kind of like what's going on here, but nothing like that. So basically it'll be more 90% land, 10% water, but the water is going to be all over the map, right? It's just going to be in really smaller bodies, and then it's going to, hopefully, if I can do it right, I wanted to do like on one of the islands on Green Valley, which I'll probably do it on the first island, it's the only one that's cleared off. But I wanted to do something kind of like haunted, if that makes sense. So like creepy, spooky, dark look, like a swampy Halloween type thing display. So it'll have maybe some of the polar bears, you know, to go with some of the snowy stuff to make it like kind of like cold and spooky on one corner of it. And then we'll do like the dark frosty trees with the Green Valley trees, and then have some of the spooky, I can't remember what it's called, it's that green swamp thing with the parade or whatever. I'll put out the graveyard with the ghost parade on it, and then some of the haunted houses, which I don't even know why they're considered haunted houses, but they're haunted houses, and those green parks with the trees with the blue eyes that glow. I'll probably put those out onto like some kind of an entrance or something, but that's the idea. And then on the next island of the Green Valley map, I was thinking about going with something totally opposite, something really, really bright, but the same general gist. I don't know, we'll see what happens, because I usually get a general idea in my head, and then it turns out totally different than what I had anticipated. You know what I mean? So try to, like, when you design, have a general idea, but a lot of people, they try to get too many details all at once, and it ends up making it really difficult. So that's about as far as I've got with that thought process. But like this map, for instance, I had no idea what I wanted to do on this map. My original thought was that I was going to do water here in the center and have there be like residentials here, up here and here, and then this would be like water that flowed between the cities. But I ended up going with something totally different because this was the last map that I had unlocked, and I didn't want to waste a lot of my regional items upgrading homes. I wanted to buy more trees, right? And so I was like, well, I'm going to do the least amount of upgrading as possible on this map for now, and then what I'll do is I'll use any regional currency that I obtain and start buying some of the trees that I want. And when I started doing that, I just started placing some trees and water on Black Friday, was when I had unlocked all this stuff. So I ended up, this being my only map with room, I ended up putting all of my trees and animals and things that I had purchased on Black Friday on this map. And so it just kind of ended up with this overflow nature look rather than residential. If anybody was wondering what happened to that idea, that's what happened. But, you know, I mean, I really do like the way, what I got going on here with this map. I just got to figure out what I want to do with it. Another idea that I got is, you know how a lot of people do designs in, what was I going to say? They do designs with roads, like they write words or whatever. Well, I was going to do designs with water and terrain. So it would be a design, and you would be able to tell it was there, but you wouldn't, like, know right away. You would have to look for it to notice it. So that's going to be a little bit more interesting to build, but it's definitely something that I want to do. Like, even if it's not necessarily my name or something, but I could do like a number or initials or something. I don't know what I'm going to do just yet. It'll depend on what map, of course, and what water and what layout, but you get the general idea. Okay, so I am going to do a couple of reviews on a few people's cities here. Give me just a second. All right. I'm back. All right, this is my baby brother's map. He's a little asshole. I mean, shithead. I know it's going to be like his new signature greeting to my channel. Okay. And it rains? Are you serious? He did that on purpose. He totally did that on purpose. He's like, all right, fine, bitch. Now you can't see nothing. Now it's going to rain on your ass. That's the shit I'm talking about, dude. Like, come on, EA. Are you serious right now? Clean this up. Oh, hey, it worked. Maybe I should yell at the game more often. Okay. I mean, I do yell at the game quite a bit. Alright, so, first thing is a lot of his roadways are still surrounded with trees. Try to utilize those roadways on, with buildings and whatnot. For instance, he has, where is it? He has that one purple arch park or whatever that does the parade. That would look really cool, actually, if he was to put it like somewhere up front here, like maybe right here in front of these houses, because they would loop around and they would parade all the way around his little residential area here. But the first thing that I wanted to talk about was he was asking about residential. That's that emo. Oh, wow. Okay, yeah, emo planes. All right, so first off, dude, you're missing a piece of water. Fix that. Okay, so the way that these mountain homes are, last night I had screenshotted some stuff and had told him, like which ones to move around. But I wanted to talk about these particular homes because there's certain ways that you can place them to make them look a lot better. For instance, you're going to go with the shape of the rooftop and you're going to go with the colors, right? If you do all brown colors, it's going to look really tacky, whereas if you mix everything up, it's going to look a little better. So it really depends on what type of display you're going for. But when it comes to the shape of these buildings, certain buildings look better along the edges of the roadways. For example, like, let's say he was to place a house on the edge of this house right here, where he's got these two little trees here. It would be more beneficial for him to do one of these type of rooftops, or like this Gothic style one here with the point, the black one here, on the edges of the map, or on the edges of the roads, because they just look better. For example, like right here, he's got brown rooftop, brown rooftop, brown rooftop, brown rooftop. See how dark this one little area looks? It looks like total crap. Whereas if he was to take out a couple of these brown rooftops and add, for example, like how he's got this brown one here, this right here is leading to it. So, for example, he's got this road, right? And it leads straight into this house. This particular house has a road running right to it as if it's something important, right? Why would you want the ugliest style building having a red carpet rolled to it, kind of thing? So I would move this particular house and I would put this type of house here because it would look the best. Like something like how he's got this one out in the open. This one would look best if it was placed maybe like how he's got it here along the edges. That's how I place those ones. These ones here, these blue ones, my least favorite ones, these ones I try to hide in clusters because of the way that the walls are around the edges. See how the walls are, and see how the rooftop is just really tacky. This one I try to hide in a cluster. So like, for example, in here, I would probably put one right there, right where he has it. maybe even right here, where he's got a really badass pink one. These ones are really rare to get. These two here, the blue one and the pink one. I know it's dark, but bear with me here. Those two particular styles are probably the most rare. Besides, actually, you know what's really rare is getting one of these style as a maroon. That one is really hard to get. For example, I have one of them, and I've done over like 80 something mountain epics, and I don't usually see them on anybody else's map either. Not that I'm a big fan of this particular style, but this particular style rooftop, the one with just the one point, this one looks best when it's placed vertically versus horizontally, depending on where it is, of course. So usually that one will go along an edge, or like a back, the back edge or whatever, so that you have, what you want to make sure of is when you're placing your houses, you want to group them in color, size, shape, all that stuff. But one of the things you want to take into consideration is you want to, a lot of times what people will do when they're placing residentials is they'll have their camera tilted just a little bit upwards so that they can kind of see the roads. Try your best to keep your camera like this, because what will end up happening is when you step back and look at what you've made, you'll realize that you've blocked off a lot of whatever display it is that you're making. For example, a lot of people will put little clusters of homes, like little islands, so like maybe a little block of like three homes or whatever. But then they put a building there that has a really tall rooftop, whereas if they would have used something like this one here, how it's got the left one, the left part of the roof is really tall, but there's not really any rooftop on the right side of the building. Those ones look best when you're trying to block off something that is on the left, not the right. So if you want to leave something open, or you're placing the building on the left-hand side, then I would go with that style rooftop. Now, you want to go based off what the building looks like when turned. So some of these homes, they look just fine in any direction. The ones that are universal, that look fine in any direction, those ones you can place all around the edges. That's what makes these particular homes so valuable to me, is because they not only look badass, but they're short, so you can actually see your stuff, right? So it would be really nice right about now if SimCity would give us better residentials that are shorter but still are epic projects. You know, like Latin homes and new town homes and regional homes and stuff like that. Yeah, they're short, but I mean, they don't provide anything as in terms of giving back to your city the way that an epic does. All of those have a higher service demand, or they have a lower pop, or they're just ugly, or whatever the case may be. So honestly, what they really need to do is add in some more, well, for one, some more epic categories would be nice. I don't know how exactly they would do that, but maybe like if you did like the landmark category or something, you could pick between one of 3 styles and then have it just generate, or maybe like allow you to re-roll what you get and pay like an obscene amount of coins to re-roll the design, but only be allowed to like re-roll it so many times, you know? That would be kind of cool. Like there's a lot of things that they could do, like allow us to gamble with Sims Cash for certain parts or things in the game. I don't want to get on that topic, but you get my point. There's a lot of ways that they could make this game a lot better than it is. But for example, this particular style home, this is my least favorite out of all the mountain homes. Not just because of the way that the rooftop is, but because the way the sides are, and the fact that when you look at the ground on this house, it just looks so artificial. Like, I don't know what the hell they put on the ground in terms of, like, what is that? I don't know what that is. It looks like shit. But, try that. You know, Sydney was asking, what like how to place these houses to make them look good. So I'm going to go back to my city and I'm going to show you guys a couple of techniques that I use when placing these homes. Now, unfortunately, I don't have any mountain homes on any of my other maps, really. Like, I think I have like 2 on Frosty. So I'm going to have to do it on my capital, so I'm not going to have a lot of space. But I'm going to try my best to show you guys a couple of the techniques that I was talking about. Okay, so... you know, believe it or not, whenever I place a building, there's a lot of things that I take into consideration when I place it. You know, like people might think, oh, you know, I just threw a bunch of trees and water out. No, I pretty much strategically placed each and every piece that you see on my map. There was thought that went into it. It wasn't just put there for no reason. So oftentimes I'll find myself like, oh, maybe I should change this tree out and do this or that. And then like I start messing with it and I'm like, now I see why I did that. There was a reason for this madness. Okay, so for example, this particular bridge I traded out for a cobblestone, or I had a cobblestone bridge here, and then I decided that I was going to take this bridge from my Sunny map and place it on my capital. Now, when I did that, this was last night right before I fell asleep, I realized that the right side of the bridge is being blocked off with a home, and it kind of looks like shit, right? So I wanted to move this house. I'm not going to put it there, but for now I'm going to put it there. And I'm going to see, okay, it's still not visible, you know, because it's got this castle there, but you can actually see the top part of the bridge. So it doesn't just look like, you know, it just drops off, right? So what can I put there that would be visible to me, but not blocking off that bridge? I don't know. Maybe some trees, because if I was to put some trees there, it would, they would be bright and they would kind of show off the rooftop or whatever. But I don't know if that's what I want to do or what. So I'm just going to kind of leave that sit for a minute. But more importantly, here, let's try this stupid building. Because this is one that I hate the look of, I could hide it there, but it looks like shit. So that's a no. Okay, so let me show you what I was talking about. So we're going to draw a road. So oftentimes you'll see me do this, okay? This means that I don't want to bulldoze out the whole road, right? So if you don't want to bulldoze out your whole road, just draw little notches and make cuts where you want to cut out the road. So I've shown you guys the techniques to use on placing little islands, but there's one technique, and I drew it up on paper, but then I thought it might be confusing to you guys, so I decided to do it on the game. So what you're going to do is you're going to draw out your 2 units of room, okay? So like every house is 2 units by 2 units, so it's 4 squares, right? But you only need 2 units of roadway for every house, essentially, okay? So what you want to do is you want to say, okay, I have, let's just say I did 2 units. That's enough to place 2 houses, 1 on each side, right? But in order for me to go this way with it, I would go like this, right? Okay, well that's only 1 unit. I can still place it there. But if I wanted to place a house going, you know, further down, I would have to continue that roadway. But I could place it there. That's enough to place 1 home. So let me just draw this out and I'll show you what I mean. So essentially what I try to do is I try to use as little road as possible when I do any kind of designing, because I think the roads look like shit. So let's say that I did these 2 here. And then I put this one here like this, okay? That's three houses, right? For just that one little tiny piece of road, just based on the way that it's shaped. But now I have 3 points. That's what I call them, as points. So you've got these areas here where you can branch off from the road that you've drawn. So you've got 1 point here, at the top between the two houses where you could go with a bridge, you could go and extend the roadway. You've got the one over here where you could go with the bridge and extend the road over to this island here. And then you've got this this point between the two homes. Now this one here, usually I would do a park or a tree on after the park. So I try not to put trees on roadways no matter what. Like, you will almost never see a tree along the road. I always put something else before I put a tree. It just makes sense. It doesn't make sense to put a tree on a road when you don't have to. You can utilize other things that, okay, so like think about it like this. You can surround homes with trees no matter what, no matter if you have a road or not. But if you wanted to place a park, how many opportunities do you have? Not very many. So I would put like a park or a bridge or something in an area like this. Or what you can do is scoot the house over and cover that portion of the road. Now this is beneficial if you don't like that particular curve there. You can block off one of your points. Now you'll still have a piece of road that you can utilize for a park or to extend that point. So like, let's say that I wanted to continue on making this island. Where would I go with it? Well, if I wanted to, I could say, okay, well, we'll take it up a notch, right? And then let's say we went this way with it. Okay, so now we've utilized another piece of roadway that we can add a house on. So let's say we move this over. Now we can put it here or we can put it up here. So do we want a point going off so that we can wrap this around and go this way with it? Do we want to put a bridge here? Do we want to block this off? What do we want to do here? I don't know yet. But if we go like this, we see that this is not visible because this house is here. So what we could do is move this house over, right? See how we have this open space now? We could put a park there and have a clear shot, clear visibility shot to the park. Or we can put a house there and have it be a clear shot to a really cool looking house. That is somewhere where we would put a really nice design looking house. We wouldn't pick an ugly design and put it there, right? So let's say that we went with, let's say we covered this point, right? And we decided that we were going to go with adding a spot here, okay? So now we can put, let's see. Now we can put another house here. So let's put this here. Okay, like that. Now, what we could do is we could put two houses in front of them and continue on making an island of just residentials. Or we can take something and do a universal building and place it along the front of these homes. Or we can say, okay, let's just do some kind of like a little display, like these here. These require a roadway, but they require water, you know, and you can put those in front of things or whatever. But I would not put this style home in the front. There's no way I would do that. It's ugly. Why would I do that? You know? So I would probably go with, let's see, probably maybe something like this. Put it here or up here and then put something here. But more importantly, I would probably, okay, so I'd probably go here, right? Like that. Now I could surround this with trees and water and parks, and that would be that one little island. Now right here, I have one point here. Now I could take this and let's say I did one notch, right? Now I would block this off with a tall tree or a dense tree, something like maybe the yellow tree or the Green Valley regional tree, or even the limestone tree because it's tall. And I would block off this point of road, right? And then I would put a house right here on this edge. Now, which house would I put here? Probably this Gothic one here, because it looks the best along the side. Now, I don't really have any space to do that, but see how little road we've used and how many houses we've managed to place? And they aren't placed perfectly straight, right? So when you do a lot of homes, what you people will do is they'll do one straight road, and then they'll try to put as many homes on that straight road as possible. You don't want to do that. That's what everybody does, and it looks like shit, right? So let's go back and let's retry this again, and I'll show you something else you can do. Okay, so for example, this, you've got 3 little pieces here. Okay. So a lot of people will do these T things here. If you can't put another house off one of your points, then you have to have a reason for the point, right? So like I'll notice a lot of people do this, and then they just surround it with trees. Well, what's the purpose of that point? What is it doing? It doesn't need to be there, so why is it there? So like you could have bulldozed this off and been just fine. But people will leave stuff like that there. That doesn't make sense. So try to break off all of the stuff that you don't need. So like if, let's say I wanted to put a bridge here, then I would place down 2 pieces of water, and I would place my bridge, and that would be my main entrance to my island. So a lot of people, what they end up doing is they have trouble making the island look good. So what they'll do is they'll draw big long roads, and then they'll just draw a lot of straight roads, and then put a bunch of houses, and then surround them with trees, and then draw bigger roads. And try not to do that, okay? Try to kind of experiment with the way the roads are. So what a lot of people will do is they will draw all of the road first, and then place all of the buildings along the roads. Again, you're biting off more than you can chew. Do you think that I sat down and drew out my roads first and then placed my buildings? That's ridiculous. That would be ridiculous, okay? What I did was, I did what I just showed you. Now, what a lot of people do is they grab the road thing and they start drawing out, a ton of roads, and then like, okay, that looks good. No, just start small, okay? Start like this and then see how you like it. And you got to be able to kind of envision what it is that you're doing before you do it. So you can imagine, right? Once I surround this with trees and water, it would look really badass, okay? But a lot of people have trouble like envisioning stuff like that. For instance, let's say that you wanted to do 2 little islands, right? So let's just say you placed a house here. And you say, okay, I want to do this island here. But I want to make sure that it has a bridge going to it. So what you can do before you place the bridges is place the water as if they're bridges, rather than just placing the bridges. So you've got your water, okay? So you know that that's where your bridge is going to go. That's your point where your bridge is going to go. So now you say, okay, I can do that. Okay, so now I've got that one there. Now, let's say that I wanted to go with, and it's hard because I'm in this small space, but let's say that I wanted to go, this way with it, like that. And for the purpose of the video, we're going to pretend that there's a house, here. But we would put a house there, right? Obviously not that particular house, but we would put a house there, and then we would put one, here if we wanted, and then we could actually we could go here, and then we could bring this up a notch. So bulldoze that, bring this up 1 notch and over, right? Kind of like this. Now, go like that. So we've got this bridge here that we can't see, which is just fine with me. But if you wanted to be able to see it, what could you do to change this? See how this rooftop is to the right? So let's go like this. Now you can see your bridge. This is what I'm talking about. This is what you want to be able to do and utilize. So you can kind of mess around with it and say, okay, now let's pick out the type of bridge based on the type of stuff that you have placed, you know, the type of colors or whatever it is that you're placing or doing. So for instance, let's just, for the purpose of the video, we'll put down the blue one. Now, for those of you who have trouble placing bridges, there is a couple of tricks that you can do. I have videos on that stuff because bridges can actually be kind of a pain in the ass if you don't know how to place them. So now you've got this bridge here, and it's actually visible to you because you picked the right rooftop to use. So basically, you're going to continue branching off and doing exactly what I've been showing you here. Now, whenever you have bridges and houses near bridges, you have to take into consideration that the driveway to the house has to be facing the roadway. Okay, so if you put 2 notches of road or whatever, 2 units of road, and then you put a bridge along the right side, you're not going to be able to turn that building whatever direction that you want without it screaming at you that there's no road, because the driveway of the building has to be facing the road. It defeats the purpose if the people can't get out of their driveway, right? So for those of you who have been asking, you know, why that happens, that's why that happens. Same with like a shop, okay? So shops don't need connections to the main services. So it doesn't bitch at you for, you know, services and stuff, but it will complain at you if there's no roadway. Okay, so you've got your bridge, you've got your rooftop placed, and you want to continue on making this little island here. Well, one of the things that we can do is we can either branch off from this point here, or we can say, okay, we can put a house here where this particular thing is. Like, we can put a house here, or what we can do is, let's see, what do we got? We want to look at what's visible to us once we turn it. So we're going to have to go with a house there because putting a building there doesn't make sense. Now, we've got this notch of road here that we can extend. We can either extend it straight and continue placing homes going that way, or we can go with going this way, right? We could put in a bridge if we want, but either way, that's what we got going on. So what we want to look at is, where are we going with this road? What are we doing? Are we trying to kind of round it off? Are we done with this little island? How many houses do we want? Do we want it to branch off into something? And you're going to go based off that. Now, do what I taught you and put down just the ponds before you place your bridges. Get the outline and the feel for it, and then mess around and see which bridges you like the look of the most. You know, which ones are the most visible. Some of them look better going horizontal than vertical, or vice versa. So you want to be sure that you're placing them in the right direction, and then you can place the rooftops of the houses based off that, right? So, for instance, let's say that we went with, let's say we went up a notch, okay? And we grabbed this building here, and we place it here, right? We could go with up one more notch, right? And then like that. So let's say we did this. I'll show you what I'm talking about here. Now, I would want to put something that I find to be, that looks good, that I want, you know, there to be a reason, like, this is what this leads to. So I'd put one of my best looking houses there. Now, I could either, hang on. Okay. So what I want to do is I want to make sure that I don't block off a whole bunch of this particular house, right? Now, because I have, let's see, hang on. Let me see what this one looks like here. So like this one, it doesn't really block off a whole lot of it. I could use that one, but I don't really like the look of that one. I could go with, you know, this one because it's smaller and it would be in the cluster, you know, so let's see what that looks like. That one's not bad. Now, what we could do is this could be our main connect. So like, let's say that this was the road that connected us to our services. So we would place our pond, and then we would have to determine, you know, which bridge we wanted to place there. But let's say that we went with cobblestone. Okay, so now we can put the water coming out from under the bridge, put trees around everything, and if we wanted to, we could upgrade our roads to make them look a little nicer, but I recommend not doing that until you're considering it a permanent roadway. But you get the point. Like, that would be the island that you would do, and then you could put another house here, or you could do like a park or something, or you could just say, okay, I'm going to separate this one. Hang on. You could take this out. God, okay. Let's go like this. And then now let's grab, I gotta rearrange my houses based off color. You could do something like this one, or you could say, okay, let's do this one because it's on the left side. You could put this here and do two bridges, one on each side. Or you can say, okay, let's do this one like this, and then finding another one of those weird rooftop ones that we had there before, like this one, you know? Like that. I would probably put the pink one there, though. There's one. Is that it? No. There's a pink one that looks similar to that, but it goes the other direction. Anyway, you guys get the point. So between the shapes and the colors and stuff, try to make it look the best that you can. A lot of these here are like not permanently placed, obviously, but like I try to hide some of this stuff, these rooftops in particular. Like these two would not go next to each other. They're the same shape. That would look ridiculous. So I would probably put this, you know, somewhere else, but let's see. Okay, you guys, I think, oh, there it is. So like these three, how they're all lined up right here along the edge, this is not supposed to be like this. So like this would be moved, probably put in one of this color here, like that. Nope, because see how this one matches with this one? So I would probably actually pick this one up. See, this is the problem when you don't have any room. It's a major pain in the ass. So this one would actually get moved. It's actually quite a pain in the ass to get these right sometimes. Like that one could go here, and then, okay, so like, let's put... It's been a while since I actually organized my rooftops to be correct. A lot of them have just kind of been scattered about just from me moving stuff around and designing. So let's see, we've got these two here. I would not leave those two there like that. That's where all my pink rooftops went. So I would probably move this one down here and then probably try to hide, where is it? This ugly ass one over here. Okay. So as you can see, I try to kind of color code things and get stuff arranged like that. I try to utilize the sides with these here. Now, this one would not be there like that. This one would probably go I don't know where I'm going to put this one yet, because I don't really like that one. That one sucks. And it's dark. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get this posted. This video became actually really long.